Welcome to This Week at Four Horsemen Comics, where we are in the digital world. We are the leaders of the first two generations of Digi-Destins. I am Rye, and of course you...
I have no idea.
His name was Davis.
Davis.
His name
really?
His name was Davis, yeah.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best one so far. I can actually get behind that one.
Yes. All right. For our giveaway this week, this Friday is my last Friday Night Magic as the Magic Tournament organizer.
Since when?
And I'm going to be giving away a $30 gift card to somebody who answers all of my Star Wars trivia questions. So if you want to win that, just ask me. You don't get to win. Just ask me for Star Wars trivia questions. I'll have more information on that Friday, but you got to come Friday.
All right.
All right, so let's jump into new comics.
Do it.
Oh, and also please bear with us. Transitions are going to be a little slower this week because we don't have Grand General Alex.
Where is Alex?
I don't know, but we need him.
We miss you, Alex.
So Ron's going to be doing the transitions.
Wait. I'm not even kidding.
All right, answer it.
Hold on. This is actually Alex. Let's see if we can hear him.
You're live on
Alex,
the air.
You're live on the air, dude. I'm literally holding you up. This is Alex, guys. Say hi, everyone. Everyone, Alex, everyone.
Talking to the microphone.
Well, hello, everyone. I'm just trying to understand the text I just received from you, Ron.
From me?
This is
I don't even remember. This is great.
This is fascinating.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. And I'm not going to read that on the air. That's for later. That's for much, much later. There's a new comic. All right, then. We're going to talk about comics now.
Bye.
Bye, Alex. Drive safe. Bye.
Okay, so comics.
Comics.
We have a new title from Image. It's called Days of Hate.
That looks great.
Yes, so this is sort of like near future fiction.
Okay.
It takes place in the United States in the year 2022, in which a fictional group of white supremacists have taken control of the United States government, and this is about the rebellion against them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so very dark, but very also topical to some things going on in the news.
All right.
Definitely something to check out.
Cool deal. Next up, we've got a new James Bond book called The Body, #1.
Yeah, so this is actually James Bond being debriefed after a mission in which he has sustained a lot of injuries at various parts of his body, and he has like a little story that's like 2 to 3 pages long about each injury that he describes as he's being debriefed.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And jumping into Star Wars.
Yes.
Star Wars issue 42 comes out this week. We are still on Jeddah. If you're not currently reading Star Wars, we're back on the moon of Jeddah. And of course, this is Luke and Han and Leia's first time. They're trying to help out some of the surviving partisans from the group that was blasted there by the Death Star.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
They're picking up the pieces.
And it's actually tying in to characters from the Darth Vader comic.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, so if they're on Jeddah, isn't Jeddah
the moon of Jeddah?
Oh, okay. Well, isn't there a big crater where the city used to be?
Where the Holy City was, but they're not, remember the partisans were not in the city.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yep. Okay.
And more Star Wars. Star Wars Adventures issue 6 comes out. This is the kids series that is a lot of fun. I read it too. It kind of jumps all over the place. Like the first issue had stories about Rey, and then it had stories about Leia. It's had stories about Luke. It's just going all over the place.
Yeah.
And this one includes stories about everybody's favorite new character,
Hera.
Rose. I like Rose.
Yeah, Rose is pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. And then we also have our next Star Wars Forces of Destiny one-shot. So this is a one-issue story. And this one is about Captain Syndulla.
Ooh.
Who,
she's captain now.
She's always been captain. She's captain of the Ghost.
Oh, I'm thinking general.
Well, she is a general.
Yeah.
She is a general in the Rebel Alliance. Yeah, you need to watch Rebels.
I know.
You
I know.
Really, really
I
do.
really do.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to our events section.
Events.
No, versus. My bad.
Versus.
You were right. I was wrong.
I got it right for once.
Yes. All right, so we're going to talk about last week's. Not that yet. Not yet. We're going to talk about last week's.
Oh, wait.
Go to the versus section. Yeah. No, unclick that. No.
Not that one. The
No.
one I'm pointing to.
No. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
No. Shoot it over. Good monkey.
There we
go. Where's your banana? I'll give you a banana. Okay, so last week... Let's roll in here. Alex, I need you.
We miss you, Alex.
So we were talking about last week was Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead versus Red Sonja.
Red Sonja, yep.
Red Sonja. And it was close, but Red Sonja got it.
Red Sonja tore him up.
Yeah, she did, which I get, if you just put the two of them together, I think that's probably the case.
Yeah.
And we had a great comment to the winner of our best comment contest.
I read this at work. I shouldn't have, but I read it at work. I laughed so long.
Former Four Horsemen employee Ira Weil got this one all the way from Texas.
Made my day.
His comment is not Daryl. He has maybe 3 years of fighting zombies. Before that, squirrels, Bud Light jockeys, fat kids that play D&D. He may be a neo-noble warrior now, but don't forget that less than a dog year ago, time-wise, he was eating potted meat sandwiches and stealing his older brother's Hustler magazines. Yeah. It goes on. Go to the Facebook thread, check it out, and he even gave us an image to show.
This worked out. This is really cool.
So the big argument a lot of people were using was that Daryl's real good with headshots with his crossbow, and he could just shoot her in the head. But Ira actually supplied us with a primary document here showing that Red Sonja can catch and dodge arrows.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Cool.
Now let's get into this week's. Now I was
that looks familiar.
I was super excited that two characters from the Orville, my favorite new show, were nominated for this, and they got paired in week 1.
I know that doesn't seem fair. Now this was all random. All these
this was completely random,
and these two came out.
This proves right here that I don't fix these.
Yeah.
So we have, of course, Alara Catan, who is the head of security on the Orville, and Derulio.
Yep. Oh, Rob Lowe.
So, what are your impressions?
Who's gonna win? Mm-hmm. Can I say what I told you I was gonna say on the air?
It's your store.
I think Alara's gonna win. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna. If you want my real comment, come in and see me.
Beck and I had a discussion about this.
Yeah.
And I think she just breaks his arm.
Oh,
I think she just pins him to the floor and snaps his arm.
All right, so Ira actually, again, comment on this thread, and
we have a lot of comments.
Yeah, he mentioned if Derulio is doing his, like...
If he's in heat.
If he's in heat, if he's, like, ripping out them pheromones, would she be able to, like, not fall under his spell?
Well, in the show, he was in heat, and she did resist him.
Did very well, though?
Yeah, she never had any symptoms.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So then he doesn't stand a chance.
Then again, she was aware of the issue, and I'm sure she avoided
consciously. Yeah.
I remember looking for this because I saw that episode a couple times.
Yeah.
So the way when he's in heat, if he touches you, he will basically you fall in love with him like a love potion.
Immediately.
Yeah. And there are points in the show where she grabbed him.
Right.
So if she's aware of it, she's not going to let him touch her.
Oh, yeah.
Which she is aware of that.
Yeah, she knew going in.
Yeah, so I think Alara just beats him black and blue.
Yeah, with gloves on.
Yeah.
Oven mitts.
Check out this week's thread. You can vote, give a comment. Best comment wins 25% off their next purchase with some restrictions. There's a lot of great Blue Man Group jokes. Yeah. And real quick,
watch the episode if you haven't seen it.
Love the show. I think it was the best show of last year.
Yeah.
Predictions for the overall thing?
For the overall, who's gonna win?
Yeah, we should have done this last week when we went over the bracket.
I have to look at the bracket again.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say my prediction. I think we're going to see Hulk and Thor in the finals because they are on opposite sides of the bracket, and then we just get to make every Ragnarok joke ever.
Ragnarok, yeah.
Yeah.
That's too easy though.
It is.
All right.
So we'll have you take a look at the bracket and do your prediction next week.
Sounds good.
All right, moving on to our weekly events. So as you can see on the screen, you have the events, the schedule of events we hold every week here at Horsemen Comics. We're not going to go over them, but if you want any information on these, just go to the Facebook page.
Okay. And I've lost everything else. You talked way too fast. No idea where we're going.
All right. Now we want to talk about last week's events. Okay. We want to thank everybody who came out to our Rivals of Ixalan pre-release events. Woo! Whopping success considering the weather.
It was great. Yeah.
And then also thank you to everyone who came out to our Winter 40K event. We've got some pictures of some painted models we want to share with you guys. Some beautiful things.
Yeah.
So I was showing Beck a picture of these, and I said to her, like, I really want to play this game, but I just can't. I can't paint these things.
I look at some of the paint jobs that these guys have been doing on these things, and I don't have the precision or the I just can't do it.
Well, this was her reply. Like I said, I really want to play this, but I don't want to paint these. And she said, I really want to paint these, but I don't want to play.
Oh, you're in then.
So I was like, yeah, you might see me at a Warhammer
absolutely
tournament coming up. Probably not anytime soon, but maybe.
Yep.
All right, and we want to recognize the HeroClix event that's actually going on right now.
Yep.
So obviously, it's a little late to participate because it started half an hour ago. But they're doing something unique.
It's a really cool idea.
And we just want to shout it out. It's the HeroClix I Have a Dream event, where it's a Golden Age format tournament, but your highest pointed character must be an African American. And of course,
cool.
This is in honor of
Martin Luther King.
Yes, which we had Dr. Martin Luther King Day last Monday. Yeah. Full name, I just love saying this. The Reverend.
Oh.
Dr.
The Reverend.
Martin Luther King Jr. I just love it.
He should have been the second.
The second?
If you name
I think the second is more elegant.
If you name your child Junior, I'm a Junior.
You're just salty about this because you're...
I am. I'm so salty. If you're watching, parents, parental units, second.
Ronald Gary Davis the first.
The second.
So yeah, a really great idea from Nick Sayer, our HeroClix tournament organizer.
Well done,
yeah, really cool.
All right, so this weekend is another thing.
This Friday, we have a new Magic the Gathering expansion coming out, Rivals of Ixalan. This is the second set from the Ixalan block. If you're not sick of dinosaurs and pirates, because I'm not.
I love pirates. So this whole weekend was nothing but pirate-themed things. It was great. I loved it.
All right, so that is coming out this Friday. It'll be available when we open at 10 a.m. We still have pre-orders open. So if you played in the pre-release event, you can order a booster box for $90 before the tax. That's about $16 cheaper than normal. And if you didn't, you can still place your order, get those into us before we close on Thursday.
Yep. Also coming up this weekend, we have a ton of things going on.
Our annual Child's Play event is this weekend. And what is our Child's Play event?
Child's Play event, every year we get everyone together to play some games and have some good times, all to benefit WVU Children's Hospital. If the event goes over great every single year and every year gets bigger and bigger, I think this is absolutely going to be the biggest one we've ever done.
Right. And we have a huge list of events here, so we're just going to run through these. So on Friday, we have our Rivals of Ixalan release drafts that will begin at 6 p.m., and we will run those to demand. And then our 6:30 modern F&M event will be the Battle for the Blades. More on that in a little bit.
Battle of the Blades.
And then, of course, at 6:30 we also have Friday Night Pokemon, which coincides with our monthly challenge event, which you will need a deck list for. And then on Saturday,
we've got the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game at noon. Warhammer 40K also at noon. DC Deck Builder at 1. Magic
the Gathering.
Team Unified Modern event at 1. HeroClix Battle Royale at 5.
Yes, and then on Sunday we have the Pokemon Sun and Moon Ultra Prism pre-release event at noon. Yep. So that's all the stuff.
That's a big schedule.
Yeah, and also Saturday we have Board Game Day from Open Close.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So many things. And we also have the Staff Cards Against Humanity tournament.
Saturday night
at 10 o'clock. We don't have full details on that worked out. There'll be a post on all of our social medias, but you can watch it this Saturday at 10 o'clock. Me, Ron, and some other Four Horsemen regulars. That will only be on Twitch.
You cannot see that on Facebook or YouTube. Not safe for work, I'm sure. There's going to be...
No.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
The replay will be on our YouTube page marked for 18 plus. We will.
Red band.
Yeah, we're only going to be streaming it to Twitch, so definitely go twitch.tv/ForHorsemenComics, 10 o'clock this Saturday night.
Yep.
Ooh.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. All right, so back to the Battle for the Blades.
Yes.
So
Look at the blades.
tell us a little bit about this item.
So this item, actually, Dane Lumen has offered this back up to the community to help, for Child's Play, help raise more funds.
Thank you for donating that, Dane.
Thank you, Dane. Dane actually put this together years ago when he worked here. We had an event for it. I think it might have actually been a Child's Play event. And it seems to almost be a tradition at this point that it keeps getting donated back to help raise more money. So.
Yeah, I forget. I think Sean Carroll won it at that event.
Uh-huh.
And he donated it back to the store when we ran a charity relief event for the terrorist bombings in Paris.
Yep.
And Dane won it at that event.
Yep.
And then he's donated it back for this Child's Play.
Now, do you know that there's going to be a new blade added to the set?
Really?
Yes, that you can only get if you win it this time.
I did not know.
It's going to be a highly, highly valued addition to this unique collection.
Are you going to tape it to the back?
Absolutely.
All right, so you will win this if you win our Modern F&M this Friday. And once again, all the money we take in for that event will go to the West Virginia University Children's Hospital.
Yep. Also, all weekend we're going to be doing. Well, is it all weekend that we're doing?
We're going to be taking money up to Saturday night.
Okay, up to Saturday night.
We don't know. All right, go ahead and.
So we got a whole bunch of things that have been donated by
challenge.
The.
Before that.
Oh yeah, before the auction.
There we go.
There we go.
Yes, we are doing the chip challenge.
That's going to be great.
And
I'm looking forward to this like nobody's business.
So this is myself, Lucas Hendricks, and Caleb Davis.
That's a terrible idea.
We have jars on our front counter where you can donate money to the Children's Hospital. Each jar is designated for the three of us. Whichever person raises the most money will eat one of these chips live on stream. It's going to be sometime Saturday night. Caleb's availability is a little weird, so we don't have a time nailed down yet.
We may need to do this on Twitch only. Because I've seen videos. If you haven't, YouTube some of these videos.
Yeah, these
people
chips,
lose control.
These are the spiciest chips in the world. They're made from ghost pepper oil. Go to YouTube, type in chip challenge. If you just want to watch people cry and curse and throw up sometimes. But we're going to be streaming this at some point Saturday night. So just watch your notifications. Yeah. And of course, if you miss it live, there will be a replay on Facebook and YouTube.
Probably censored.
Maybe just YouTube. But it will be there.
All right, so we are doing some auctions throughout the weekend.
Yeah, we have some silent charity auctions. We're going to set these up Friday. They're going to run till Sunday evening. We have a lot of items, and we have several here. We're going to have more by the time Friday rolls around. Yep. So if you don't see anything you're interested in, still check us out this weekend. I have some stuff prepared that I wasn't able to get ready for the show, but we have a lot of stuff that's been donated by staff, the store, tournament organizers, players, other local businesses, some foosball people.
Yep. Those are signed footballs. Very nice.
By Mountaineers.
Yep.
I would assume.
I just signed it a whole bunch of times. A lot. My hand cramped up.
Okay.
So we don't need this one?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Back to us?
No. All right. So last thing we want to mention about Child's Play, aside from come out, we're going to give you another reason. We have a local player here who plays Magic, Dungeons and Dragons, board games. His name is Sean Carroll. One of my favorite people in the community. Mm-hmm. He's very generous soul. Always gives very willingly when we have charity events, but has outdone himself tenfold this time.
Above and beyond.
Sean has put out the call. He is going to match whatever we raise this weekend for Child's Play up to $1,000.
Yeah.
So, first, wow,
that's
Sean.
Impressive.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I'm sure, all the kids over at the hospital who are going to receive this money and benefit from it, they thank you. But what this means is that the rest of you guys need to come out here. We need to make sure we get to $1,000 at least.
Yep.
And I believe you
I think we can do that.
You had a counter.
Do I have a counter? What's my counter?
You said you were going to match up to.
How much?
I don't know.
I'm also going to match up to 1,000.
Okay.
So if we raise 1,000, that means there's going to be 3 going to Children's Hospital.
Right.
Let's do this.
And we can get to $1,000. That's a full weekend full of events. So the events, the chip challenge, all of the charity auctions. we can do this.
Yeah.
$1,000 is easy. And if we raise 1,000, we raise 3.
Caleb has 1,000 in his jar alone. I'm pretty sure.
Caleb has a lot of money in his jar.
He does.
And there's going to be another component to this with the Cards Against Humanity streaming tournament. Just watch Facebook for a post about that. I apologize with the delay on that.
Awesome. All right, so new Star Wars thing.
Yeah, moving on to our favorite segment this week in Star Wars.
Yes.
There is a new Star Wars mobile game that is coming out soon. It's called Star Wars Rivals. It's a player versus player action shooter that focuses on matches between rival characters. So if you're playing Luke, you're going to be playing against Darth Vader. If you're playing Finn, you're going to be playing against Captain Phasma. It kind of has a story element that focuses on these rivalries.
Oh, cool. But is the gameplay sort of like what am I trying to say? Like a Street Fighter thing where there's 2 characters and
it's a shooter.
Oh, okay.
It's
better.
It's an action shooter, so it's third person. You see the whole body of the person.
All right.
It's not out yet, but you can see image stills if you just Google it. There's no release date. It was just announced, but you can pre-register for it on the Google Play Store for Android. I don't know about iOS yet, but perhaps.
Okay.
Definitely worth checking out. All right, moving on to this week in movies. There is a premiere tomorrow. Mary and the Witch's Flower is an anime film from director Hiromasa Yanabayashi, which you may know. If you've
yeah, good job.
He is a former Studio Ghibli director. He directed The Secret World of Arrietty, which is based on The Borrowers. Is a great movie. Definitely check it out. Yeah. So he is broken from Studio Ghibli, which is not something that directors normally do because they are the top of the game in terms of anime. Yeah. And this is his first film away from the studio. There is going to be a special premiere at select cinemas throughout the country, and the Cinemark in Clarksburg has it tomorrow night.
That's awesome.
The dubbed version will be at 7 o'clock, and the subtitled version will be at 8 o'clock. I am really hoping to make it to that.
Which do you prefer, dubbed or sub?
Okay, so when this was a big thing back in the day.
Really?
So I've been into anime for literal decades.
Yeah.
And back when I was in high school and going to conventions all the time, the thing, and if you were a real fan, you liked subs. You like to watch it in Japanese. You like to get the original translation. And so back then I would tell you that I prefer subs.
Right.
And that's all well and good. The truth of the matter is that the anime dubbing industry was just getting started, and there wasn't a lot of quality control, and there were a lot of dubs put out that were just really bad.
That sounds great.
But now we're in a spot where this industry has been around for a few decades,
right? And
there's like people who've been doing it that long, and dubs that are being put out are super high quality. So now that there's quality dubs being put out, I don't see a lot of reason to watch it in the original Japanese, especially since I'm getting older. Right. And I have attention issues, and it's hard for me
look up, look down.
Although it is easier in a theater to watch a subtitled movie because you see it all at once.
Yeah.
I would be bringing Emma, so I'd probably be going to the dubbed version.
Yeah.
As long as you're good. All right, we have a new feature.
I love this idea. This is great.
So as you know, Avengers
that thing
Infinity Wars is coming out this May, and this is the culmination of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, years and years.
So the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or the MCU, started in 2018, and it is a series of movies that have one continuity among them that take from multiple franchises. Right. So the characters can appear in different movies, and then they'll have joint-up movies like the Avengers where they all get together.
Right.
And all these movies have been released in phases, and there's been 3 phases, which are essentially acts. So like everything from Iron Man to the first Avengers movie is phase 1 or act 1.
Okay.
Which is the storytelling.
Kind of setting everybody up.
Yeah, it introduces all the characters, and at the end of the act, it brings them together.
Right.
And then phase 2 was Iron Man 3 up to Age of Ultron and Ant-Man, where it kind of introduces some supporting characters, but takes the main group and kind of
takes it forward a little bit.
Yeah, but it also introduces conflict into the main group,
Right,
which is at the opening of Act 3, which is Captain America Civil War. We see that conflict kind of break up the main group. And now we're getting towards the end of Act 3, which the climax of the entire story, 10 years of movies, the climax is going to be Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah.
And then the end of Phase 3 will be Avengers 4, which comes out next year.
Where are they going to go after this?
Well,
after a 10-year block.
I know.
They've invested.
We know that they have announced post Phase 4 or whatever happens after that. We do have Guardians Volume 3.
Yes.
And finally,
oh my God, yes.
Finally, after years and years of the community asking for it, a Black Widow standalone movie has been announced and finalized. It's happening. Why did this take 10 years to happen? But anyways, okay. So our new feature is Countdown to Infinity. Yep. There are 17 movies that are out now. Infinity Wars comes out in the 19th week of 2018. Yep. So adding Black Panther, which isn't out yet, if you watch one movie per week, starting with Iron Man week 1, you will finish all 18 movies the week before Infinity Wars comes out.
We need to do this.
Yeah. Beck and Emma and I have actually been doing this at home. We watched Iron Man the first week, Hulk the second week, and we're going to do this all the way up until Infinity Wars. And it's just the ultimate way to get pumped.
Really cool. That's a really cool idea.
And some of these movies I haven't seen in years, so it's been great.
I tell you what. All right, so the first one we have is Iron Man.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little catch up. Okay. So we're gonna talk about 3 movies tonight. We're gonna be talking about 1 movie a week up till then. So week 1, Iron Man, go.
Box of scraps. My favorite line.
Tony Stark made this thing in a cave. Oh, that's great.
A box of scraps.
That's great. But I'm not Tony Stark. And he's like, all right, fair. I still think this is just one of the best movies that they've ever done.
They set that bar so high, and then the bar just stayed there.
I know.
They did so good.
This movie is important for a few reasons. One, it's the first one, obviously. But more importantly, it sets the tone that almost every movie follows, that it's like super action-centered, but so much comedy. But also, like, the comedy is there, but it can turn on a dime and be super
real serious.
This movie, and it also just relaunched the career of a man who has now become a superstar, Robert Downey Jr. It's hard to imagine for people who've kind of come of age in this era of movies.
Grew up with him.
But prior to Iron Man, he was a B-list guy.
Yeah. He had fallen off the radar, had some problems, but this
a lot of drug issues.
Yeah, lots of issues just in general.
I remember reading an article about how he was driving his convertible down the street naked, trying to throw invisible rats off of him. It's just like, oh, RDJ, just tone it down. But this movie is just huge.
Yeah. I actually had the opportunity one time to see one of the sets of Iron Man armor at like an event, and it kind of killed it for me because it's not. I mean, it looks like it's just solid metal. It's absolute rubber. I mean, you can pick it up and it just kind of bends.
Really?
Yeah. But it was. I mean, in the movies, it looks fantastic. But.
All right. So love it.
Yep. Good movie.
Moving on to week 2, The Incredible Hulk.
I've seen it once.
Really?
I saw it when it came out. I never saw it again.
I would rewatch it.
It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad.
I think this movie gets ignored a lot.
Yeah.
One, because they had to recast Ed Norton, and there's no continuity between this movie and the other ones.
Other than the last cutscene.
Yeah. But it is really a good movie.
Yeah.
Ed Norton, I don't prefer him to Mark Ruffalo, but he is good. I love the whole... So this movie kind of starts out, they do the origin story in the credits, so it doesn't jerk you around with an origin story.
Really cool.
And it just starts with him in Brazil hiding from Thunderbolt Ross. And that whole part was really great. I think that the villain... the Abomination, the guy who plays the Abomination, that's great. As really good pacing. You need to rewatch this movie.
I need to, because I haven't seen it for so long. And actually, when I'm thinking about it, I actually think of the Ed Norton one as well, and I know that one wasn't that great.
You mean not the Ed Norton? You mean the Eric Bana one?
Yeah, Eric Bana. That one.
Directed by Ang Lee, director of Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, sorry, Ang Lee, I didn't like this one though. Not good.
Did you like Brokeback Mountain?
That was a good movie.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was great. Yeah. So if you haven't seen this movie since it came out, or maybe you've never seen it, give it another shot. I don't think this is at the bottom of the barrel. I think it stands on its own 2 green legs.
Yeah. Big, beefy green legs. All right. Also, to catch up, we got to do Iron Man 2.
So that is this week's movie, week 3.
Mm-hmm.
I like this movie, but
I sense a butt coming.
But this is the bottom of the list for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I like this one.
So here's my thing. Okay, first, I want to clarify.
Bring me butt.
If you're the worst MCU movie, you're still better than 95% of all other movies.
Yeah, I thought you were going to actually call out DC.
You're still better than, like, almost every single DC. You're probably better than everything except for Wonder Woman and The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Ouch. Sorry, DC.
Scathing.
Send
your comments to Ryan.
I don't think this is a bad movie.
Right.
I don't like seeing Tony whine and cry for 2 hours.
Well, he never whined and cried.
When's the last time you watched this movie?
Oh, it's been a while. I remember him getting beat to death.
So throughout this entire movie, he thinks he's dying.
Yeah.
Because
he is. He's got like radiation sickness in his chest.
And excuse my French, he acts like a jackass throughout this entire movie.
Tony Stark kind of is a jackass.
He is, but
he was
more.
He was more
so. He has his birthday party and he gets drunk in the Iron Man suit, and people are flinging stuff in the air and he's shooting out of the sky.
That was kind of bad.
But okay, some things that this movie did great. Introducing Black Widow,
right?
Huge, and it did it in a way where. Until they said her name, you didn't know she was the Black Widow.
Yeah.
And she never actually takes her mask off throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
And that's just very very Black Widow.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't break her character. She's undercover for an entire movie.
Yeah.
In the first Iron Man movie, we get to see Phil Coulson.
Mm-hmm.
And that continues in this.
Yeah. Do you think they meant to make him such a central character to all these movies?
No, I think
people just loved him.
I think much. It was just a fan response.
Oh yeah.
And he is actually like one of my favorite all-time Marvel characters now.
On your recommendation, I've started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm up to like the middle of the first season.
That's when it gets good.
I love Agent Coulson. He's such a good character. He really is. Don't tell me what happens. I'm sure something horrible happens because I like him so much.
So there's a twist midway through season 1. Have you hit that twist? If you have to think about it, no, you haven't.
Okay, then probably not.
We'll talk about it later.
All right.
Yeah, Iron Man 2 is good. Also, there's only been 2 major recasts in the whole MCU. We already talked about the first one. Ed Norton was recast as Bruce Banner to Mark Ruffalo because when they got to the Avengers movie, he wanted to write it. And they told him no.
Nope.
So they got Mark Ruffalo, which I think ended up being a good thing.
Oh yeah,
Mark Ruffalo is
he's real good.
He's real good. So what's our other one? Who else was recast?
I've actually been trying to think about that. I have no earthly idea.
Colonel James Rhodes, aka War Machine.
Oh yeah, they did.
And the original one, he was Terrence Howard.
Yep.
And now we have the infamous Don Cheadle.
Yeah. Did they do that because of the name, or do you think that?
Okay, so there's never been a publicized reason.
Right.
Terrence Howard said in an interview that Robert Downey Jr. took my money and pushed me off the project.
Wow.
So
okay.
The only thing you can really assume is that those 2 people had an issue, and the studio had to choose between Robert Downey Jr. and Terrence Howard.
So if Robert Downey wants more money, I mean, obviously, yeah.
But as good as Terrence Howard was in that role,
Don Cheadle's great.
Don Cheadle is, I think he's one of the most immense acters that we have out there.
Yeah.
He's really great.
Yeah, and I actually thought that he would come at a higher price tag, so that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Don Cheadle's really down-to-earth actor. He does a lot of charity work. He does a lot of diplomatic work.
It's Captain Planet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Google it, kids.
Okay, so trying to wrap this up. Even though Iron Man 2 is the bottom of my list, just because...
In his opinion, not mine.
Well,
the Hulk's the bottom for me.
Rewatch it.
All right.
Rewatch both of these.
Okay.
Aside from just Tony whining throughout the whole movie,
the
villain is super weak. Whiplash.
Oh yeah, I like when he said, "Bring me bird."
Bring me bird. It's not my bird.
It's not my bird.
Oh, you should really just rewatch all of these.
Oh, so we are going to run these in the store. Let's pick a day.
Go ahead.
All right, so
Mondays.
Let's do Mondays. Yeah,
well,
Mondays.
Watch Facebook. We'll have more information on this.
Yeah, we're going to try and run these in the store. So if you have any buy, Stop and watch a movie with us.
Okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
Horseman of the Week. I'm getting a big boy job, or I have a big boy job.
Yep.
So
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. My role in this, I'm not quitting, but my role will be severely reduced here in the store. I will no longer be the Magic Tournament organizer, and I am being replaced by two wonderful champs. We're going to play everybody's favorite game, Who's That T.O.? All right, we'll give you 5 seconds guess.
4, 3, 2,
1. Wyatt and Ethan.
Yay!
So our horsemen of the week is Wyatt Gehring and Ethan Rapking. Of course, everybody knows Wyatt.
Yep.
He currently works at the store, and he's getting a promotion, you could say. He's just one of our most sociable and likable Magic players that we have. He's always talking to new players. He's always helping people out with deck. He's always loaning cards, doing everything that you need to do to build a community. Right. And then Ethan is a player here who's just been hired to kind of work with Wyatt and collaborate and kind of share the responsibilities of the Magic Tournament organizer. And Ethan stuck out to us because during times of stress, he always came out to the store and tried to be a representative of the community rather than just like a particular store.
Right.
I'm very impressed with both of these guys. And
I think they're going to do a fantastic job.
Yeah, and good luck, guys, because you might need to add a third person to this. It's a rough gig.
You're going to need it.
All right, moving on to our Four Horsemen mailbag. Local viewer dared us to do an entire month of questions from Cosmo, so we're continuing that.
Out who did that?
I'll never tell. So, which famous Chris is your boyfriend? All right, starting from the right, we have, of course, Chris Pratt, Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. And then we have Chris Evans, who is Captain America. In the middle, we have Chris Hemsworth, who is, of course, Thor. I don't know who that.
I don't know who that is. That to me, that looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
It's not him.
It is.
Well, his name isn't Chris, for starters. And then on the end there, last, certainly not least, we have Chris Pine, Captain Kirk. All right, go ahead.
All right, so obviously Star-Lord. I mean, you can't beat Star-Lord. Chris Evans, I'm not a fan of Captain America, so I'm not. No. And Shaggy, he's out.
That's not Shaggy.
But all right, so Chris Hemsworth, not because he's Thor, but because he was Kirk's father.
George Kirk. He was also in one of my all-time favorite horror movies.
Oh,
the Cabin in
the Woods. He was
that scene. If you haven't seen Cabin in the Woods, watch it now.
All right, so but I'm still gonna have to go with. Oh gosh, I'm going Star-Lord. I like him.
All right, so I read an article from Chris Hemsworth yesterday where he was quoted that after Avengers 4, he is done with Thor.
What?
For good.
Okay.
Which I'm kicking him out of bed here. like you're done.
Yeah.
So for me, and I don't know who that fourth guy is.
I don't know.
But Captain America is my favorite Avenger, and Chris Evans is just.
Yeah.
But Chris Pine, he's just so Kirk. He just nailed that character.
All right. So do you like Chris Pine, or are you just reminiscing about William Shatner? Because that's
William Shatner is not my boy. That would have been either Leonard Nimoy or DeForest Kelly.
Yeah.
All right. So, but I've seen Chris Pine in a lot of other movies, like Steve Trevor.
I've seen Chris Pine shirtless. Never mind.
in Wonder Woman, he was.
Oh, he was so good in Wonder Woman.
I was going to say he was shirtless in Wonder Woman.
Oh, he was. Yeah,
he was. Yeah. But Chris Pratt too. I mean,
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt can dance.
He can. The boy's got moves. So is let's bring him up one more time. Look at that.
I don't know.
You got to choose in 3, 2, 1. Who's your boy?
It's Star-Lord, man.
It's Star-Lord.
It's got to be Star-Lord. And that's hard though.
Yeah,
that's a real hard decision.
That
but
really is.
It's got to be Star-Lord.
That was a good question.
Yeah, it was.
Good question. So who asked that question? Someday.
Maybe at the end of the month.
All right. Yeah. All right. What does Tula do anything about it?
We are doing a sale this week. We're doing a buy one, get one on back issues.
Yep.
Clarification, black issues are issues not on the wall, but in our wooden shelves.
Yep.
Anybody who plays in a Child's Play event gets buy one, get one on those. Yes.
Please come out, get some comics.
All right.
Money.
Moving on to our closing, we're going to bring up our social medias, and then we're going to roll for next week's movie scene.
Where are our social medias?
Yes, right there. That's the one.
There's our social media.
All right, please like us at facebook.com/4horsemencomics. Follow us on Instagram at 4horsemencomics. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/4horsemencomics gaming. Follow us on Twitter at 4horsemencomics. Watch all of our streaming content at twitch.tv/4horsemencomics and shop our TCG inventory at shop.4horsemencomics.com. All right, we're going to roll for next week's movie scene. Oh, I'm excited.
Please be God.
9. Have we done 9? No. All right. So from Matthew Reynolds, we're doing the "You Had Me at Hello" scene from Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Which means
that'll be easy.
I'll need to watch this movie now.
Oh yeah.
This movie has always been on my to-watch list, and I've just never gotten around to it.
I think I've seen pieces of it. I don't think I've seen it from start to beginning.
Now I have to watch it. So that's good. All right. So now we're going to do our closing scene. This
holy, there's a lot on there.
It's not actually a lot because in the brackets that's action.
Wait, am I green?
You're green.
No, I'm blue.
No, you're blue. You're blue. I told you you're going to be Sindel. So we actually rolled my suggestion last week, and we are going to do a scene from the Star Wars classic, Ewoks Battle for Endor.
Those are so bad.
They are so amazing.
These movies are so
They are so great.
bad.
And if you have not seen them, these were TV movies made about the Ewoks. In the first one, a family crash lands on the forest moon of Endor. The Ewoks kind of take them in. Now we're at the beginning of the second movie where the little girl, her whole family is dying, and this is the death scene of her father. And I'm going to play the father, and you're going to be Sindel.
And my performance will be better than hers. I can guarantee it.
So where we're at, Sindel has just witnessed the death of her mother and older brother. She's gone looking for me, her dad, and you kind of just found me. So,
all right.
Hold on. I gotta get my blaster.
That's all right. Such a good blaster. Watch me point that thing.
Are you all right, sweetheart?
You call me sweetheart. Mm-hmm. Mommy, Mace, they're dead. Wait, are they really?
Yeah.
Oh crap.
No,
okay.
they died. Like I watched this movie when I was like 6. They kill.
This is like a
They
kid's
kill
movie.
this girl. No. It's legit. They kill her whole family. It's brutal. All right, back in it.
All right. We're back. Get back in it.
I know, but we need to be strong now. You remember the song your mother sings about the little bird?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to need you to be strong like that little bird. Now I want you to run and find Deej and the Ewoks. They'll help you.
No, Daddy, I want to stay here with
Now listen to me. You do as I say. Now when I say go, you run. Run hard and fast and don't look back.
Should I run? Oh, we got a hug.
Sindel, I'll always be with you. I love you. Sindel, go. Run fast.
Be thankful you didn't see that.